Well, most people who know me know I'm a bit of a fan of the Realistic TRC457, and actually one just shipped out today to head off to South Australia, which is probably was my cleanest unit. And I took a punt. I thought this one was offered to me. Now, of course, I didn't need a whole swag of TRC457s, but I did. I took a punt and thought this one looked pretty clean. So you're going to see it as I see it. Hang on, how do I? Let's just have a little bit of a look, and let's see what I've bought. And whether I sent my my very mint TRC457 to a mate of mine in South Australia, and it was a smart move or not. You know what? I have a feeling this will be reasonably good, but you never know. The other one was pretty good, so we'll see. All right, so what do we got? Good sign to start with. Realistic hand mic in its original box. These are the memories that we all sort of live for. And we'll just put that bass mic over there. And what do we have here? Here we go, the 110 volt power lead, 12 volt lead, all the bag of bits that you get with them. So that's looking pretty promising. I like that. So let's put that over there. Now there's something I did not have, to be 100% fair, the Realistic TRC457 manual with the FCC Citizen Radio Service Part 95, which, let's see. Okay, so that's looking like we're a little bit in front, and we've got the two brackets there. Now for the next bit, I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. So a little fast forward, and we have got a radio that's sitting there, and looks very clean, very clean, extremely clean. But my other one was clean. This one is probably a little cleaner again. It's the next level, I must say. Does it turn on? Well, the clock's on, by the way. If your clock module works, it's always good, because they they are renowned for having issues. And just so you know, this is the AM PM up there, by the way, too, and they also have a 12-hour switch on the back, which you can go to 24-hour time. That you'll see this as it'll go over. There you go, to PM there. All right, so does it turn on? That's the next thing. Aha! There is sound. There is volume. Good. Lower. It's not sounding too scratchy, to be honest. And how's the volume control? Pretty good, yeah. Geez, I'll tell you what, because this has been sitting for quite a while. All right, so let's have a look. Do we put in a bass microphone or a hand microphone? You'd have to put the bass in, wouldn't you? Did you know that the box actually said on here somewhere, where was it? Sure, it said it. I'm about to tell you lies. Hang on. Where was it? I was sure the box actually said on it somewhere. No, I'm going mental. Whatever I was about to say, forget it, because I'm definitely going mental. Actually, it wasn't that it said it, sorry. I know what it was. It shows the picture of the TRC457. That's pretty obvious. So they've used their flagship radio to market their microphone. So very smart. All right, so let's just pull this fella out and see what we've got. Geez, this is clean. This is very clean. All right, I'm going to have to say nice things about Chris after this. There's a good friend of mine that sold me quite a few radios. Oh, don't mind me, I'm just getting in a position here. Yeah, that's quite nice. All right, let me just get sorted out here. I'll get it all plugged in. And all right, so back to this microphone. I knew for a fact that Chris wouldn't leave batteries in one, and so we just put a couple of double A batteries in it, and she is up and running, looking really nice. Just having a quick, I'll just put it on lock. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. Hang on. That's my I've just got to do up the head on it. It keeps dropping down. Hang on. Right, let's have a look and see if we can transmit 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 1 2. You wait till I show you how you get these things up to 17 watts with one adjustment. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. Righto. So that's how a standard TRC457 looks, and this is working exactly as it would have come out of Radio Shack or Tandy's all those years ago. Some people are telling me 1977. Be interested to know. It's funny, I was looking at the SAMS manual the other day when we were doing the 240 volt power supply modification, and something that you need to understand when you're doing one of these, if you think it's as simple as just taking out the 110 volt power supply and chucking in a switch mode, or along those lines, you've got a AC voltage that this fella here needs. It sort of likes to see about 17 volts, but you could take it down to probably 13 volts AC, but it does want that AC voltage. So what will happen is the VCC of this clock is 12 volts DC, and it's 12.99 is your feed-in on DC. And what you don't see, unless you have the SAMS manual, is exactly how it configures back to the power supply and how one side of it goes back to the bridge rectifier and picks up an AC voltage there. And that AC voltage is a trigger that triggers the clock to, look, I'm no clock expert, but I had to sit there going, why does clock not function? Clock functioned before I touched the radio. Why does it not function? Which normally that'd be Brenton stuffed it, but no, I had a look at the circuit. Yeah, it just requires this AC voltage, and once you put that there, the clock then can count. And don't ask me exactly, all the mechanics of digital clocks and how that works. I just knew that I traced the circuit, and we found a solution and went fantastic. Yeah, so look, not difficult once you know, but please don't go guessing on the clock. It's not a 110 volt clock. It will run off DC there's a good point. It will run off a DC power supply as long as you're giving it the AC component. So when you're plugged into AC at the moment, the clock's always just going to stay there and stay on, etc. But DC is a different kettle of fish. You'll get a clock, but it won't actually be able to be functioned. So I didn't check whether it would still count, 106 to 107 with just the DC voltage. But certainly its control functions, it pulses AC through the fast, slow, etc. Anyway, that's just a side note. Back to this beautiful radio. Really nice condition. I'm tempted actually to go straight to putting an antenna on it and just seeing if we can get any noise, any RFs out of it. And we're certainly hearing okay. Well, are we? Hang on, let's just put a very quick generate signal in there, and let's go there. 0.499, so 0.5 a microvolt. Happy. Let's just see what we can go down to. 0.158, still hearing that fine, and I reckon we'll just lose it. Yeah, I can just hear it. But 0.158, very nice. 0.049, so 0.05 of a microvolt, getting a bit sort of difficult. So quite seriously, let's turn that off. This thing, when we put an antenna into it, should receive quite well. So that would be the... and just so you know, so we then take this radio, remove covers, have a look at caps, have a look at just how it's gone. I'll be leaving this one 110 volt. I'm a bit of a I love 110 volt stuff, and we just throw them into supplies like this, and I'm sort of not running 30 at a time, so just every now and again we're plugging one in and having a bit of fun. But the 240 volt mod on a lot of radios, is not a problem. I don't think it actually devalues the radio in any way at all. Different ones have asked me, do you think I'm doing the right thing? And I think the right thing is whatever works for you. It's a bit like I mean, Pete Newman's a great mate of mine. He would have a cardiac arrest over the fact that this radio may stay out of the box. You know, now he is a stickler for that, boxed radios, boxes, etc. And I don't mind that. I think, you know, that's, I do that with a few radios, I must be honest. Normally they're sort of double ups. But I must be honest, I'm down to my last TRC457. This is it. So this one will probably go on display a bit here and, you know, have a bit of... I'd like to actually use it, you know, that sort of stuff. Anyway, okay, let's put an antenna into it. Give me a second. Now, this time of night, it's a strange period. It's 6 or 7 o'clock, probably 6, I think, 6:30, somewhere around there. I should set my clock, shouldn't I? But around this time of night, every night, on 27 megs, some insane reason, we get a bit of noise at this property. Always been thinking comes off the power lines or something stupid, but, you know, that wouldn't make sense, would it? It's not like there's a timer on noise. But we do. Anyway, so have a listen to this, and it's a very atmospheric sort of pulsing noise. And it makes me wonder, you know, have we got something running on the property around here which denies the point I just made about atmospheric? I don't know if it's atmospheric at all. It could be around this property, and I'll show you why. Have a look at this. Now, I've just put the noise blanker in on this. Actually, I did have the A&L, which makes no difference at all. Oh, hang on. No difference at all. But the noise blanker on this, and they are a very good noise blanker on these things, but very good doesn't mean it's great. Very good means that for a CB radio, compared to a lot of the ham radios that we review, it means it sort of works. Doesn't mean that, you know, a whole lot of guys are going to say, I'm swapping my Kenwood or Yaesu or Icon because the noise blanker is that good. So very good in relation to some CB noise blankers are totally useless because they've just used a couple of caps and they're really just playing with the audio more than anything else. Okay, so let's just see. I'm not looking very good, to be honest. It's gone quiet again, which is the DX was crazy just before. But let me get my big mother bass microphone. Hit transmit. Steve 177. Don't know if you're still about, Steve. This is JDW 229, just testing on a TRC457 again. Oh, good. Mate, the DX has dropped a bit at the moment. And the people on the video, this is Steve 177, and a great mate of mine, and he is doing a few new antenna projects and bits at his place, so we're going to have a bit of fun over there. Anyway, this is the TRC457 transmitting. Now, Steve, I haven't done any tune-ups on this. There's no ALC been opened up or anything yet. This is probably, you know, 5 to 7 watts or something, so it's probably... And it's on the antenna down low at the moment too, mate. Go ahead. Mate, you're starring in this video now too. AC Making just come and get you now. Steve's running 2,000 watts out of a... No, he's not, no. No, actually Steve's great mate of mine, and he's got a great system, and actually for where his antenna is at the moment, it's quite low, coming in quite well. But Steve, I'll just finish up on this video and I'll give you a call a bit after, but thanks for the test, mate. We pulled that TRC457 out of the box. You'll see it on the video in a minute, and it is as clean, which means I took a good punt when I bought it in. I wasn't sure it was going to be as clean as the one I had. Okay, mate, 73, so I'll call you back a bit after. Catch you, mate. Steve's really down low there. On the antenna we're on a Antron A99 now. Normally I talk to Steve on a Stereo up at 105 feet, and he's, to give you an idea of the difference, we've got a big hill in between us. When I'm on the 30-foot A99, of course the hill gets in the way. Try and clarify him. That's better. But when I'm on the Stereo at 105 feet, it just seems to, it's not the gain of the antenna, it's the height of the antenna, because he's suddenly 5 and 7, noise-free, and that sort of almost kind of distorted sound that you're hearing from Steve goes away. I know that sounds crazy, but when he's down on the real bottom trying to hear him, it can get a little bit difficult, a bit muddy. I don't know why, because you'd think it'd just amplify the sound, but when he's talking to me in the other room, admittedly that's on a different radio again, I do find he's a lot clearer, and I think that's more to do with just getting a decent level of signal from him. Okay, so TRC457. I know I just did a video the other day on one. I must be getting sick of them, but you know, I mean, how many days do I bring in a box with, you know, that one and this box over here, and you know, thanks, Chris. Actually, let me just show you what Chris has been supplying us. Now, I've got to give credit where credit's due. The Craig came from Chris. The Pace came from Chris. Now, this looks like a stereo piece. Like, this should have been sold to a vintage stereo shop, and then they could put it on top, you know, sort of their vintage stereo equipment with the vintage CB. Lovely. And this one actually, I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure that came from Chris. I've got a few of these, so I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, no, it did, because I kept the three together that came from Chris. So, yeah, that's just a bit of a... And as you can see, look, he's just insane, some of the stuff Chris has got. I don't think we all know how much he's got. I'm probably only getting the dregs, you know, but I'll take the dregs. All right. Thanks very much for having a look at this. A little bit longer than we wanted, but it is a unboxing of a very, very, very nice radio, so what the heck, a bit of fun. If you only got to the 10-minute mark, I can understand that. I really can. I've watched a few of my own videos. Really hard to watch sometimes, so I don't know. Good on you guys for hanging in there. 73s from VK3 Charlie Mike, or on the old CB radio, Jack Daniels Whiskey 229. And one last comment, the bands are open. They're really, whether it's 10 or 11 metres, get on there. Whichever one's your flavour, go and enjoy it. 73s, all the best.